I gotta say to the people who are destroying things. If you really feel like you have to take an opportunity, like if you're going to be an opportunistic, something is wrong with you. If you cannot stand up and fight the good fight and you want to be a cheater and go ahead and take what we're trying to do, something is wrong with you. Because what we're trying to do is stand up for the basic rights of humanity. And that's what we're trying to do, and we're trying to do it in a peaceful way. We do not want to go through this anymore, okay? I want to be able to go in a white neighborhood and feel safe. I want to be able, when a cop is driving behind me, I don't have to clinch and be tense, okay? I want to be able just to be free and not have to think about every step I take. Because at the end of the day, being black is a crime. At the end of the day, being born black is a crime to them. And I don't understand why. Because we're all humans. And that's sickening.
Tell them, brother. Tell them.
Be careful.
I gotta go, man.
So, you know,
Be careful.
No, please understand, guys, that in every group...
may have been the best summation. Just one moment. That may have been the best summation that I have heard in the time that we have been covering this. Very quickly, give me your name and give me your thoughts.
My name is Linda Morris, and I want to say, in every group, there's always going to be those riffraffs that cause chaos, but it's always a distraction. The very first person.
Here we go.
Yo, we gotta go. Come on.
All right, there may be police coming on this side of the bridge now to clear them out as well, so we're going to keep moving and try to figure out where this goes. They wanted to get to the state capitol to make their voices heard. They were very concerned about the National Guard being called in. They are very aware that there are 3 times the amount of National Guard.
Listen to this, right? Why does the National Guard have to have assault rifles with suppressor on them to come to a peaceful protest? Are we at war? Is this a war country? None of us have arms, but yet the National Guard has assault rifles with freaking suppressors. Do you know what a suppressor does? A suppressor silences a shot. So they're trying to kill us with silence. But we're not going to die. We're going to fight. Because our generation is sick and tired, okay? We want change, and we demand it right now.
So they've retreated to this side.
If you're from this generation or old, step up. You have a duty as a human to step up and fight for every neighbor and every person around the world, or they will try to silence us, and we will never be silenced, man. This generation is here to stay, and we will get our fucking change.
He is as well spoken as I have heard this entire time. I mean, they are incredibly angry. They've now gathered on this side of the bridge. It was emotional to listen to him and the sense of purpose and injustice that is clearly so deeply ingrained and felt. It is not clear what they're going to do now. The hope was to get to the state capitol and make their voices heard there. That's 6 miles away in St. Paul. They wanted to walk down the freeway. The police for now are staying on that side of the bridge. It's not clear where they're going, but we're going to follow along, Don, and see what happens. I know that they've cracked down on the other location, and we will see what happens with the protesters here. Don?
Miguel, if I may commend you, because that is the difference between rioters and protesters. And many people want to lump rioters and protesters in the same group or the same basket, and they're not all the same. Of course, the cameras and the attention, we're going to train the cameras and the attention on what makes for the best pictures, right? But most of the people are out there because they're upset and angry. But of course, when people are destroying property and setting things on fire, we must cover it. But I'm so glad that you talked to those young people because, again, that's the difference between rioters and protesters. But what we actually, I have to be honest, what we are seeing playing out in many cities tonight are real riots. Thank you, Miguel.
It's not helping their cause. You got it.
Go ahead, Miguel. Go on. Finish your thought.
It's all that violence here and that we're seeing around the country sparked by this place. They get it. It is not helping their cause. It is very frustrating to them. And, you know, the tension just gets greater here. I mean, I truly expected it to go down. The temperature keeps rising. The sense that the governor, that the mayor, that the county attorney of Hennepin County, oh, here we go on this side now. They're now kettling them in. That they just have the sense that they have been lied to too many times, had too many promises, and this is the only way. And I am not sure where it is going to go at this point, Don.
All right, stand by. We'll get back to Miguel in Minneapolis. I want to get now to Shimon Prokopez, who is joining us from New York City, Union Square to be specific. We hear some chanting, and there appears to be a standoff with police. Go ahead, Shimon, please, take it away.
Yeah, that's right, Don. There is a standoff from police. Behind this line of officers with their bikes, there is a person being placed under arrest. What has happened is, from where we were before on 13th Street, and you see how they move their bikes, this is what they're doing. This is their tactic here. They're using these bikes to push protesters back. We were moments ago, last time we spoke, a bottle was just thrown at police. We're now on 12th Street and Broadway. We were at 13th Street, and there was a police van on fire, and then another police car, cruiser, caught fire, and police then moved into the area. We saw the police officers on bikes, police officers in helmets with their sticks out, running up the block, clearing out the street. We also saw pepper spray being used. There were a few people who were kneeling, washing their eyes out, but this is how it's been pretty much throughout the day. There have been peaceful protests, and then there are pockets of a confrontation. There is where police encounter protesters who either are refusing to leave or, in this case, set fires. Also a bank, they vandalized a bank. Windows were broken out. So this is kind of how it's been now through the night, Don. Of course, we're hearing chants through the night, Black Lives Matter, and people here are angry, understandable. And for the most part, when they're peaceful and they are chanting and they want to express their views and their feelings, they are allowed to do so. There's then an escalation occurs, and then this is when we see the police start to move in and become aggressive as they try to clear the streets and the sidewalks. They're now dealing with the two fires, a vandalized bank. Another police car in this same area has been vandalized, and now we're seeing just police here lined up, again, just trying to keep people from moving forward. And what they're going to do is they're now going to move again here, Don. They're moving us back again. And here you can see it. I'll let you listen to this if you want, Don. But this is how they've been doing it. And there you go. As they start to move, bottles get thrown at them. But these are the officers on the bike.
We have lost Shimon's signal there, but we are live tonight in New York City. We're live in Chicago. We're live in Minneapolis. We're live in Atlanta. We're live in Seattle. We're live in Los Angeles. We're live in Washington, D.C. We're live in Philadelphia. We're live in Salt Lake City, where you're looking at pictures now. We're live in Miami, and look at the streets of Salt Lake City. This is what's happening in cities all across this country. No one knows what is going to happen. America in chaos tonight.